Hey everyone, Sean here, and today in this video, I am going to sit down and talk about my updated tier list for Genshin Impact as a 4.1. I've been really enjoying the update so far. I mean, it's more of the story content, of course, and Fontaine of itself has been a pretty interesting experience with the diving and stuff like that. And I do like it for the most part. It's just more stuff to find for treasure and stuff like that. And yeah, so basically, um, I think it's a pretty good update, a solid one. Is it the best? I really can't say. I'm not like 100% confident on that, but we'll see as the story and stuff comes along. So, anyways, I do want to talk about the characters I have not put in here. So, like, the list thankfully is updated and it has saved, so I don't have to like rearrange it from the video I did and all that fun stuff. So, I believe it should be shorter, and we can definitely sit down and talk about my thoughts. So, let's start with. I'm not sure what this one's supposed to be. It's like a placeholder, maybe. It could. I don't think it's for Kazuha because Kazuha's up there. Um, I'm really not sure what this is supposed to be, but anyway, Kirara is I'd say pretty decent as a shielder. She can put down the those little like dendro cat things, so I'm gonna at least put her somewhere where like Layla would be. She also provides pretty decent shields and cryo application. I've been using her with Neuvillette very recently, and it has been coming out pretty fun, I would say. I have not yet tried it with Kirara just yet, but I do like her exploration game, so I'm gonna do her an A. For as of right now, because of the exploration game, she can turn into the little cat thing, and you can climb up and stuff like that pretty quickly. And yeah, so both her actual gameplay and the exploration side of things are pretty good, I would say. So she's pretty good. And I think that's all right with me as of right now. So yeah, chunky shield. You just build her with HP. Very straightforward, and very tanky at that. And also helps out with the Dendro stuff to an extent, I would say. Lyney is I'm gonna go ahead and put him in like S right now. Even though I don't have him, from what I've been seeing, he does the damage. So especially when you have like Swirl and like a mono pyro team and just Swirl. I believe his damage is just really good, especially when you have his 5-star bow. Of course, he really comes to life. Of course, so I don't think there's really much to say about Lyney. I don't have much to say, at least. So I know that he is a pretty good damage dealer for anyone who wants him and stuff like that. When I believe he does the job. So I don't think there has been like bad talk about him or anything like that. Kind of like with what happened with Seno, for example. Like he gets interrupted real easy, even though he has resistance to interruption, and they haven't really like fixed him since. So it's a little weird, unfortunate, which is why he just doesn't really cut it for me still towards like the lower A, quite, in my opinion. So I have to still like put him in like the high A tier for that reason. Lyney, I don't know for myself, but from what I gather, he does his job. So I would just go ahead and put him in like, I don't know, maybe where Child is. I'm not sure. Doesn't really matter, I guess. He's an S no matter what. So yeah, maybe somewhere where like Tinari, excuse me. So Lynette, I've been trying to build her and I'm trying to like use her, but I don't know 100% for her either. But I believe from what I also gather, kind of like the same case with Lyney, she is interesting. She is fun. She does her job. But of course, kind of like with like Sara and Farazan and of course Goro and like a couple other characters, really comes to life with more constellations. Like really comes to life. Kind of the same with Yao Yao. So that's why I would probably like put him in this like similar space in A, you know? So I would place her right there. And her exploration game is pretty decent, I would say. She's kind of like the 4-star Elon. Where is she? Oh yeah, she's like up there. So um definitely is in the mid A because of that as well. And her kit is pretty decent, I would say. Freminet, I don't have him either. I did not pull for him. He's not really for me visually, so that's why I did not. But from what I can see, he also is a pretty decent Claymore user, so I would put him at least somewhere where Noel would be. Maybe he is higher because he can trade off between like cryo and physical, which is very interesting. So he is interesting in that sense. So maybe he is up here, but I don't know his like full potential. But so I'm just gonna go ahead and put him in A. From what I'm saying, I have a friend that has had used him, and from what I can see, he is doing at least some decent damage as long as you have a pretty good team to go with him. I'm not sure the exact team composition that he really shines with, but just look up the guides and stuff like that as of course, and I'm sure he can really shine as a 4-star Claymore user. I mean, yes, as a 4-star, he's not going to do as much damage as the people in the S tiers for the most part. But, if you have him, he can do the job. If you want to put him in somewhat of a challenge, he can do the job. He is pretty fun with the kit that he comes with. And also his exploration game is pretty good because of the swimming, right? Especially in Fontaine. I believe his stamina does last, or he helps with stamina or speed. I forget. I don't have time to look up his kit at the moment with his passives. But I believe he does really help with the swimming aspect of things, which is appropriate because, in the lore, he's a diver. So, yeah, he does have a lot of diving to do in the lore. So anyway, Neuvillette, yes, Neuvillette, I do have him amongst the Fontaine characters thus far, and I can confidently say that he is definitely up there with the S tier damage. So the damage dealers, yes, he is definitely up there. Especially once you get his weapon, stuff like that. I have the same. I have the. It's like a similar case with Alhaitham. They're both C1. They both have their 5-star weapons, and they can definitely do the damage. I would say. I would say though Neuvillette has it a little easier, just because he can sustain himself with the balls. So he literally sucks balls to be good, which sounds very strange, I know, but that's just kind of how it works with Neuvillette, especially with C1. I kind of want to make a short out of it, but C1 Neuvillette is really, really valuable because of not only his resistance to interruption is really good, but people tend to some people at least tend to gloss over the fact that he already gets one passive charge of his what do you call? I forget what it's called, but basically in his passive he can get more damage based off of how many reactions go off in the field. So if you do like Hydro, Bloom, Freeze, and another Hydro related reaction, he gets more damage, right? So he needs three related reactions of sorts to get him going in a way, like get more damage going. But C1 alleviates that by 1, so that means he already has 1 charge right off the bat, which means you can definitely free him up for more team compositions. You can now put him with a Hydro unit, so that means you get the resonation, or what do you call it? What you call it? You have the Hydro resonation to have more HP, which he gets more of, or he scales off of more, so that means more damage, so it really, really comes to life, right? He really benefits from C1, not just from the interruption resistance, but also that passive gets alleviated because of that, which again, people tend to gloss over. He just Hydro pumps everybody. I've just aced the heck out of the Spiral Abyss as of recent. It was just that easy. It's crazy of how easy it is with Neuvillette. As long as you have a good team, like I have Kokomi, I have Kazuha, of course. He's a very valuable unit once again. And basically, like anyone you want, like Diona, you have Raiden, maybe Nahida as well. If you want to go for a hybrid bloom stuff, you can go for that as well. I mean, he really is a good, powerful damage dealer type of unit. So I think you can even like get away with. Of course, you can kind of get away with C0. It does kind of limit you with the composition. You know, you kind of want a shielder like Diona, but Diona does really pretty resonate well with Neuvillette, and also with, or if you have Zhongli, of course you can throw him in and stuff like that. Any other shield unit could work as well, as long as you have a healer, a shielder, and just like a sub DPS slash support unit to help out Neuvillette. He can definitely hyper carry. He does that very well. He is the man, right? He is the man of order. He is very powerful, very appropriate to his lore, and his gameplay definitely does reflect that. So I definitely put him in like the higher parts of the S tiers. Absolutely, absolutely. He can sustain himself in a way. He can deal the damage. He kind of plays similarly like Ito, if you think about it, because of the charge attack aspect of things. If you really think about it, that's kind of how Ito works in a way. Um, but beyond that, yes, Neuvillette I would say is better because of Hydro. It's a more valuable element, unfortunately. With Geo, you can't do much beyond like shielding and mono Geo, so you can't really do much with it, unfortunately. Does it work? Sure, but all the other elements do that better. So yeah, that is essentially Neuvillette in a nutshell. I mean, he just hydro pumps everything. He's just man. It's crazy, you know. And of course, like I said, you can kind of get away with the C0. And of course, when it comes to 4-star weapons, you can definitely use the Battle Pass weapon. Of course, it's a little more pay to win ish, but when it comes to free to play weapons, you can literally craft one for him at the smith. The smith. You can forge the prototype Amber, I believe it's called. It's the catalyst, right? The prototype catalyst for him. It has HP's main stat, and it has the benefit of healing your entire party whenever you ult. So it definitely is one of the best, if not the best, free to play 4-star catalyst for Neuvillette. So a little bit of a tip right there, and of course why C1 is so valuable, more than just the interruption resistance. I could stop it right there, but I would like to kind of like throw my predictions for Risley, Fiorina, and Charlotte. Charlotte is probably gonna be, I would say, A somewhere. Probably a decent healer. I think at this point there are, it's, I don't know, there's not much to say about her, but other than that, I believe she will be a healer, cryo healer. So I think she will provide just a decent amount of that to the field, but we'll see. We'll definitely see if especially when Fiorina comes to play, which I believe will, she has to be S, like somewhere like where Venti is at least. I don't know, somewhere here at least. Hopefully here with Neuvillette, right? Sub DPS unit. I believe she should build similarly with Neuvillette, with, you know, like crit stat, HP, sands. You get it, right? Hydro damage, right? Um, unless she, it's really interesting because I believe she can heal, and she'll be able to also provide sub DPS stuff with the turrets. So that definitely will make her very interesting. So I don't know quite where she's going to shine more. Both, maybe as a healer or as a sub DPS, but I would say leaning more towards sub DPS from what I can see. At least word on the street anyway. Risley. I think Risley should be somewhere around here. I mean, being a 5-star DPS unit, I think at this point, Coil has been very consistent about that. And he looks really cool. I mean, just the design alone, he's up here, right? Along with Zhongli. I really like Risley, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to skip him just to make sure I get Fiorina because she's the Archon. Kind of like the Yoimiya thing going on where, you know, she kind of was stuck with the Archon. So Raiden, of course, I believe. So that's why Yorimiya got skipped quite a bit, I think. If not, she was like near the Archon banner somewhere during her first time. I forget. It's been a long time, but I know recently for sure it's kind of like sandwiched between this guy, Neuvillette, and the Hydra Archon Furina. So, it's very unfortunate of where he is for his debut. But I will want to get him eventually. That's essentially it. So, but I believe he should be somewhere here. The Nerd Chasse Hunter, or whatever you want to call it. Set should work for him. But we'll see. We'll definitely have to see about that. So definitely, that's about it for the updated tier list as of 4.1 for Genshin Impact. Neuvillette's up here, and so on and so forth. I really like Neuvillette. He's really cool, in both lore and gameplay wise. So he is he's pretty badass. So I would love to see the rest of the story in 4.1. I have not finished the 4.1 story as of this recording. So I would like to get to that soon enough. And with that, thank you very much for tuning in for this video. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. If you would like to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. What are your comments about the characters as of 4.1? Who's in S, who's in A, who's in B, C, or D? And stuff like that. How do you like the Fontaine characters thus far? Who are you looking forward to? Blah, blah, blah. Any of those comments in the comment section below. We'll love to read them. So, again, thank you very much, and hope to see you all in the next one. Sean out.